Skype Shiur. We tonight are studying Parashat Bamidbar, and also for Chag Shavuot. Next week Chag Shavuot, we're not going to have a Shiur. So the next Shiur, B'ezrat Hashem, will be in 2 weeks. Parashat Ba'alotecha. So tonight I'm trying to fit in also Parashat Bamidbar, also something for Shavuot, making a connection so it can fit in for next week. B'ezrat Hashem. Tonight's Shiur dedicated L'Refuah Shlema for Rivka Bat Shaina, Garvea Lanomi Bat Rivka, Rivka Elisheva Bat Sheva Bat Rivka. Kelna Rafan Alehem, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, Refuat Krova Lavo. So we're in Parashat Yosef tonight, and we're studying Parashat Bamidbar. So I've got a few things just as a way of introduction. The parasha is a lot of talking about the numbers. Right? In fact, the book of Bamidbar in English is called Numbers. And that's after there's some background noise. I want to try and mute.
I think it's Mo. Mo,
you want to try to mute?
Mo?
Hello? Is everyone with me?
Yeah, I am.
Meir, Gilad, you here?
Yeah.
Meir?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so
I think it's
the Chumash of Bamidbar is called also Sefer HaPikudim. Pikudim is the book of numbers. So I want to present with you 3 questions, and we're going to try and deal with it. The main parasha of Bamidbar, very long parasha, a lot of it talks about the numbers, right? How many was in each Shevet? In the Shevet Binyamin, Shevet Asher, Shevet Dan, in all the tribes, and we're just counting the numbers. And it's pages and pages of psukim, all about the numbers of Am Yisrael. Now, there's a few things that this is very, very challenging for me. First of all, this is my Bar Mitzvah parasha, Parashat Bamidbar. But I wanted to find the meaning in the Torah. The Torah has got meaning in every word, every letter. And this parasha, because it's so long in the details of just describing how many numbers was in each tribe, and also about the flags and how they situated, it was very difficult to find a shiur, based on the level of pshat. So I tried to learn something on the level of sod, right, on the deep level of the Torah, the hidden secrets of the Torah. And I tried, and I didn't understand to the fully, the depth of the Torah. But there is a concept that we need to understand, that not all the Torah we can understand on our level. When the Torah wants to describe, in length, to describe each tribe, how much was each Shevet, who was the prince, who was the Nasi, how many did they have? So obviously there's a lot more on a deeper level than more than we can understand, and that's already one level of understanding. But I want to try to present B'ezrat Hashem, Siyata Dishmaya. But we're going to start off with 3 questions, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it, try and see if there's a lesson for us to learn, and then I want to talk a little bit about Chag Shavuot as well. So first question is, what's so important about the numbers, about the counting of Bnei Israel, that the whole Sefer is...
Rabbi?
Yes?
Getting... Oh, it seemed to have stopped. We're getting quite a crackly feedback. Was that only me?
No, I think it's okay. No, we're okay.
Yeah, it's okay here.
Okay, should we continue?
Okay, yeah.
So the question is, why do we call the whole Sefer or Sefer of Pikudim? Sefer Pikudim is the book of numbers. What's so special about the numbers, and why does it have so much importance that we can name the whole book after it? There's a lot of events that happen during the Sefer of Bamidbar. So that's the first question. What's the significance and the purpose of the numbers that the whole book is named after? Second question is that what's the point of counting Bnei Yisrael? Hashem knows how many there are. Hashem knows how many people we are. Hashem knows everything. So you don't need to do a count, take account of a census of people. So that's a very big question to ask, to understand. And the third question is, is who was in charge of counting the Bnei Israel? וידבר השם אל משה שאו את ראש כל עדת בני ישראל. Moshe Rabbeinu was in charge of counting Bnei Israel. Now every country, they have a census, right? In English I think it's once every 10 years they do a census and they count. How do they do? They go door to door. They send someone who he knocks on the door, he says how many people living here, how many males, how many females, what age, and he fills in the form. And that's it. Who does that? Somebody who doesn't have a better job. That's the job he can do, and that's what he does. He knows not to knock the door. Here you're sending Moshe Rabbeinu, the greatest of Am Yisrael, and he's going around and he sees actually each individual person. He doesn't just count to each household. Each person he comes and he sees, and he counts the Shemot Kol Zachar LeGulgolet. So those are the three questions we represent, and Bezrat Hashem, I want to go through a few ideas to share with you. Try and see if we can get some idea from it. Okay. So I want to maybe go through different aspect now. You see that's the Perek Rishon and Sheni is all about the numbers. In the Shlishi, we start talking about Ish al Diglo be'otot. Livnei lebet avotam yafanu. What does it mean Ish Diglo al Diglo be'otot? Each man al Diglo. What's Diglo? Degel.
His nationality.
Degel is a flag, exactly, a flag and a banner. So you see here, there's a lot of flags involved. Okay, so I know when you have in the Olympics you can imagine flags. Okay, or when you've got any country has their flag. And here you see Am Yisrael, the formation of them was very special formation, and they all had flags. There was flags for each tribe and each set of tribes. Now, if you can imagine, how did they travel in camps? There was a center where all the Kohanim. Imagine a box which had four sides, an open box and four men.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're right. Is it just us three on? Mayor?
Yeah.
Is it just us three?
Looks
Can you
like
call him back?
I will try.
Oh,
Okay, thank you for that. Is everyone back?
yep.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. Hello?
Hi.
Is there anyone
Hi.
with me? Right. Can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Somebody want to mute? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't know where I was when I lost you. What was the last thing you heard? The formation of Am Yisrael. Okay, it's a little bit difficult, but I want everyone to try. In the center was the tribe of Levi. Have I lost you again? Hello?
I'm here.
Thank you. Joe's here. Anyone else? Gilad still here?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So in the middle was Shevet Levi with Mishkan, and the top was Shevet Yehuda. When the tribe of Yisachar and Zevulun, you had also on the side Reuven, Shevet Ephraim, and then Shevet Dan. And each of the four sides, there was 3 tribes. Now each set had also a flag and had a picture on the flag. Now, what was the reason behind the flags? Where did the idea of flags come from? The Midrash tells us that Am Yisrael, when on Har Sinai, when they saw the Malachim coming down, so all the Malachim also had flags. They had Galim. And when they saw the flags of the Malachim, then they said that Am Yisrael, they wanted to also have those flags. Now the question is, why did they want the flags? What was so interesting about the flags that they wanted them? They said that the Am Yisrael desired and they had a passionate desire for the flags. I'm losing battery. 1 second. Excuse me, I need to plug in my laptop. Sorry, welcome back to the show. So we're discussing now why Am Yisrael had the flags, and had each flag was a different color and had a picture of an animal on each of the different flags. Why did they want flags? What was interested in the flags? What's the point and relevance about it? So the Medrash tells us that the Malachim, when they came down to Har Sinai, all of Am Yisrael witnessed the Gul Mirvava. That means there was 22,000 angels, Malachim, coming down, and each group had their own flag. And when Am Yisrael saw it, they were amazed. Please, you also have flags, and Hashem promised them they will be given the flags. And that's given in our parasha.
May. I think is there background noise or background building noise?
There is some background noise which is disturbing me as well for focus.
It's a constant knocking. That's better.
Okay, thank you very much. It's much better, thank you. Okay. So, what did Am Yisrael see? So what they saw was the formation of the Merkava. Okay, this is going to very deep level on the Kabbalistic side, which I don't understand to the depths, but I'm going to just share with you a glimpse just to understand concepts, to realize how deep the Torah is and how beautiful it is. The Maaseh Merkava, which Merkava is called the throne of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kisei HaKavod, which we call it in Shamayim. And there are 4 different creatures on the 4 sides of the throne. Okay, one is called a Chaya of Aryeh, a lion. One is called a Shor. Shor is an ox or a bull. One is called Chayat Adam, a man. And one is called a Nesher, which is an eagle. These are the 4 sides of the throne of Kisei HaKavod. Now, each of the angels, the formations, they also were formed within these groups of these 4 animals. One group of Gabriel, group of Raphael, Michael, and Uriel. And when Am Yisrael saw the formation and how all they're aligned, right, like soldiers, they weren't just marching in the line. They were all groups and they're all unified. So they wanted to have that, and that's why Hashem gave them the flags in the desert. And when they traveled in the desert, that was in the Midbar. It was a replica which represented the formations of the angels up in Shamayim and Kisei HaKavod. That means how they moved in the Olam Hazeh and Olam Elyon and Tachton. That's how also they moved the angels in Shamayim. Now that's just on a logistic level. But I want to explain a little bit. What does it mean that there was flags? And this I saw very beautifully explained. Sorry?
They're representing.
It represents groups. Yeah, it represents groups. But what does it mean Am Yisrael wanted and desired the flags? What, you just want a flag? Go make a flag and wave it. What's the point of it? What's the significance? What does it resemble? And how do we explain the desire for it? So I still explained the Midrash beautifully. He said that each malach, what does it mean they had an angel? He had a flag. means each flag represents a group. For example, if you have an army, right? You have an army, you have different groups in the army, different levels, different ranks, and each troop is responsible for one, for the particular, tafkid. He's got a certain job, he's got a role, what he needs to do. Okay, so you've got in the Navy, but there's a different parts of the Navy. In the Air Force, you've got different parts of the Air Force. Each one's responsible for a different part and a different aspect. Each one has his own role, his own tafkid, his own purpose, and his own mission, what he needs to fulfill. And when they saw the angels had their own flags, that means they were, they saw that each one was given the kavod and glory according to his tafkid. Okay, in the Israeli army, you've got on each badge, each soldier's got a badge of his troop, his gedud, or where he's representing. What's his purpose in the army? What does he do? And what they saw, Am Yisrael, is that the angels, each one has the kavod according to their own tafkid, and all the angels respect each other, and there's no jealousy in between them. That means each one's respect. Okay, he's the higher angel, he's got a higher tafkid, and gives him that kavod. He's all in position, in the right position, but we're all working for the same army. We're all on the same side. We're on the same team. We're working for kavod shamayim. So even though you've got different members of the army, different members of Am Yisrael, each one has his own tafkid and his role and his duty and his mission. But he's getting that kavod, irrespective to what he does. And they respected each other for that, and that's what Am Yisrael wanted. They said, we want to have that as well. We want to know, what is our position and what is our role and our tafkid and our mission in presenting Hashem's glory, bringing the kavod shamayim in the world, and that we should have no peace in between us. And that was the beautiful lesson of the Galim. I saw also written down that in each degel, not only was the color and the sign of the tribe, but also was the same color as the stone as the Kohen Gadol had on his choshen. That means the choshen, there was a breastplate choshen of the Kohen Gadol, and each tribe had a stone on the breastplate, and it was different color stone. And when they saw the tribe's color of the flag, they saw the flag, and they saw the stone on the breastplate of the Kohen Gadol. So that was like united all the tribes together. So they said we're all part of one nation, even though we come from a different tribe. I'm from Shevet Yisachar, and you're from Shevet Zevulun, for example. But we're all on the same team. We've got different tafkid, but we're all part of the 12 tribes of Israel. And the idea here is that each person in Am Yisrael wanted to have their own mission, and each one has his own mission, his own tafkid in life, in this world, what we're here for. And it's with this purpose and meaning that Moshe Rabbeinu had to see each person. Because when Moshe Rabbeinu saw each one, he gave him that special bracha. And he saw with his vision, where was your part? What was the part of this Jew in Am Yisrael? Now, Israel is Rashi Tevot, is an abbreviated word of Yesh Shishim Ribot Otiyot Batorah. Israel, Yud, Shin, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yesh Shishim Ribot Otiyot LaTorah. That means there's 60 Ribot. Shishim Ribot, 60 Ribot is 10,000, which means 600,000. Because 60 times 10,000 is 600,000. Shishim Ribot, 600,000 letters in the Torah. In the Torah. And we know there's Shishim Ribot Neshamot of Am Yisrael. That means every person in Am Yisrael is a letter. We've mentioned this concept before. But each Jew is a letter in the Sefer Torah. And each Jew has the importance of a letter in Sefer Torah. And
you said, and the crowns, is it the crowns of the Gerim?
Oh, excellent, Joe. Very good, very well remembered. So I think I mentioned that last year. The crowns are the crowns on the otiyot of the letters are the Gerim. Now each Jew. So wait a second. So first of all, the Chazal, the Chachamim are called Sofrim. Have you heard that before? Sofrim. Divrei Chazal is Divrei Sofrim. Writers, but there's also another counters. Who said counters? Gilad. Very good. Why is it called counters? Counters, what they count?
They count the letters, of course.
The count, exactly. So the Gemara says that the reason why Chazal called Sofrim, now Joe, you're right there, that doesn't mean writers, Sofer, but also means comes from the word mispar, to count. And Sofrim, because they count the letters of the Torah. Now what do you mean you count the letters? You got nothing else to do, nothing better to do the whole day, they just open the book, start counting, 1, 2, 3, you see how many letters, doesn't even count. When you're counting, it means you're giving value and importance to each individual letter. That's what it means, count.
Yeah, they also they could identify patterns. So different patterns between the letters. It's quite deep, the patterns that they found.
Oh, so it means that they not only found patterns, but also they give importance and significance to each letter. And sometimes the whole drasha, the whole Torah can come out from one letter. If you study Gemara, you see halacha, how it comes out from the pasuk. We say, okay, there's an extra hey. From this extra hey, we learn like 5 different halachot from one letter hey. Now, only somebody who's on a high level of scholarship of chachamim, they can already see one letter and see the importance and significance in it. Right? We need to study a few pasukim, a few parashat to get some idea, at least one word, but they're already on the level. Even one letter was enough to have significance. Now Rabbi Akiva was even higher level. That he was already doresh. He expounded and learned things just from the kot shel yud, which was the crowns on the letters, which were the gerim represent. From the crowns on the letters, he already explained different halachot and teachings. So let's go back to what we're talking about. So the question is like this. Sofrim, they count the letters in the Torah. And the Gemara tells us there are 60,000 letters in the Torah. Corresponding to the 60,000 neshamot, 600,000, thank you. 600,000 letters and 600,000 neshamot. Now the question is, there aren't 600,000 letters in the Torah. If you count them, there's missing like 300,000. So this is a big question, and there's many answers given to it. How can it be? You said that they counted, and they just miscounted. Right? You didn't count properly. How can it be? You're called counters, you're called sofrim, and you try and make a calculation of how many letters there are in the Torah, and then you get the wrong number. What's going on? Check on your computer, do a computer check. There's not 600,000 letters in the Torah. And here's the beauty of the answer. Listen to this answer, and there's a beauty behind it. How do you count the letter? Okay, so first of all, you have to know there's letters which are made up of letters, and there's some letters which are a letter on their own. For example, Yud is a letter on its own. Daled is a letter on its own. But you put Yud and Daled together, you get Hey. How's the Hey in the Sefer Torah? Okay, Hey, you've got like a shape of a Daled, and then you got the shape of a Yud, and that makes a letter. So we count that as 1. But the Sofrim, they'll count that letter as 2. An Aleph. What's Aleph made of? Aleph is made of a group of letters. A Vav and a Yud and a Yud. So it's made up of 3 letters. So Hey is made up of 2 letters. Aleph is made of 3. So Vav is 1 letter. Resh is 1 letter. Daled is 1 letter. Yud is 1 letter. But there's some letters which are 2. For example, Chaf, Lamed. How do you write Lamed? Lamed is a Vav and a Chaf at the bottom. Also Mem is a Vav and a Chaf on the side. So Chaf is 1 letter, Vav is 1 letter, but Mem and Lamed are 2 letters, and Aleph is 3 letters, and so on. So there's different calculations on how to make up the numbers. So the way that Chazal counted the letters, and sometimes they counted the spacing is also as a letter, because the spacing is also important. You can't have a space in the wrong place, you can't have missing of a letter, because then it messes up the whole Torah, and the whole Torah is not going to be kasher. So the way that they counted the Torah, by giving importance to even part of a letter, of part of the Aleph, they got to the number of 600,000. Now, bearing that in mind, if we're saying that every Jew is a letter in the Sefer Torah, okay, there's some important Jews that they themselves are a whole letter by themselves. He himself he's a Daled, okay, or he's a Resh, or he's a Chaf. But there's some Jews that only just the bottom part of the Aleph of the Yud. But each Jew is important, and even if you're missing one part of a letter, the whole Sefer Torah is not going to be kasher. So he gives you, first of all, the importance and the value of every Am Yisrael, every person in Am Yisrael. How do we treat each other as a nation? If we're missing one letter, the Sefer Torah is not kasher. So if Hashem is created you as a Jew, that means it is important for you to be in the world, and Hashem wants you to be here. And we should look at other Jews like that as well. Hashem gives them the importance as a Sefer Torah. In fact, there's an analogy. I think I mentioned this before in the shiur, that when a person is in iftar and dies, so we take kriya, and it's compared to as if a Sefer Torah was nisaf, as if a Sefer Torah got burnt, because now we're missing a letter in the Sefer Torah. The whole thing is missing. So if we're going back to the counting of the Bnei Israel, what was the reason why Hashem counted Am Yisrael, and why it's called the Book of Numbers, and why is it Moshe Rabbeinu was counting? Because we're saying that each Jew has an importance in it, as a letter in the Sefer Torah. Each Jew is important on his own. So first of all, Moshe has to see each one, because to give them their importance and to show them their own value. And they have like the value, like the Malachim and the angels, they have a value to set in their own tribe, to be for the diglom, to be for the degel, for the bimachane, and it's to show important, because also Hashem loves them. Hashem loves each one individual, right? A person doesn't come home and count how many grains of sugar he's got in his bag of sugar, or how many peas he has in the bag. These things that you don't count. The only big things, important things, that's what you count. And Hashem loved Am Yisrael, and that's why he always counted them. And the importance of the counting is not just to count, but it's to show the significance and value in each letter. Now, I want to show you, I want to go share with you another example. What was the importance of formation? Though you see there was formation, each one was told where to sit, where to stand. You think, okay, you're going in the desert, there's no roads, okay, there's no planning, parking plan, right? When you go into a car park, you look for a space, right? There's lines on the floor where you can park. So you're in the desert, everywhere sand. Okay, here's a spot, you pitch your tent. He said no. Why? Because you are a Jew, and you are forming now your position in the Sefer Torah of Am Yisrael. You can't just sit anywhere you want. There's a tribe. You have to sit according to your tribe. You have to sit, and your tribe not anywhere can sit. Each one has their own position. There was one person who was Mekalel et Hashem. Mekalel et Hashem. Who was he? He was the son of Shelomit bat Divri. Who was this person? The Torah doesn't even tell us his name. But he was the Shelomit bat Divri. Why did he curse Hashem? So the story was, he came in, he was not Jewish. His father was an Egyptian, and his mother was Jewish. Now, before the time of the Torah was given, so the Judaism went after the father. After the Torah was given, it went after the mother. So, and you see that in our parasha, lebet avotam, to the household of their father. Each one went to the tribe of his father. So, what did he do? He was born from Shelomit bat Divri. She was a flirtatious lady, and she went around not tzniut, and went around, showing off herself. And one Egyptian came on her, and this child was born. And he wanted to join in Am Yisrael, so he just comes in along and pitches his tent in the middle of he finds a nice spot, and he says, "This is my spot." So people tell him, "What do you think you're doing? You can't stand here. Move. Get out of here. Get out. You gotta leave. It's not your place." So he started arguing with, "What do you mean? Why can't I come here? Why can't I be like everyone else?" And they went to Moshe Rabbeinu, and Moshe Rabbeinu said, "Listen, they're right. You're not part of the tribe. You can't be here. It's not your position. It's not your place." And then he started cursing Hashem, and then he got kicked out of the camp. But now that we understand the significance, we can appreciate it much better. You can't just stick in a letter in the Sefer Torah. You say, "Okay, I want to add in a letter. Parashat Bar Mitzvah seems nice. I'm going to add in my name in the Sefer Torah." You can't do that. If it's not your position in the Torah, you can't add in a letter anyway. Each letter and each word has a significance in the Sefer Torah. You can't even separate two letters of a word. If a word is made up of a few letters, they have to be together. If there's a space in between the words, even if it's the right letters, it's not going to be kasher. So that is really the lesson of it, and I want to also now connect it to Chag HaShavuot. What do we see in Chag HaShavuot was the story of Ruth. Who was Ruth in history? What was the great-grandmother of
David.
David HaMelech, and also Shlomo HaMelech. And it says that the Midrash writes down that when David HaMelech, he sat on his throne, he made a special throne, a chair, kavod, for his great-grandmother Ruth. That means Ruth sat down at the same time seeing her grandchild or grandson being king, and also Shlomo HaMelech. She was like the queen mother, the mother of the mother queen. Where did she get that spot to sit down and be, sit down in the throne of the king of Israel, of king of Am Yisrael, Melech David Melech Israel and Shlomo Melech Israel? Where did she get that kavod from? What did she do that? She deserved that. So where did it start from? It started from Boaz, right? Boaz, how did he see her? Boaz had the fields. So what was the custom? Everyone has a field in Eretz Israel. So there's different mitzvot of leket and shikha and pe'ah. So I'm just going to explain it briefly. There's different mitzvot of your field that you have to leave part of your field for poor people. The poor people come in and they can also eat. Okay, so you can imagine, when you're not the only poor person who's coming, right? If they're giving out free food, so there's a line, poor people come, and even not so poor people, whenever there's a free meal, people like to come, why not? So everyone there is trying to grab their food, and they're hungry, and Ruth is there. And when Ruth takes the food, Boaz sees something unusual. What does he see? He sees that when she bends down to pick up the grains of food, she kneels down very respectfully. When a normal woman, they're hungry, they're trying to get their food, so they just bow down, they go bend down, and they don't take care or notice of who's looking at them and who they're. And after all, they're hungry, they're going for food. But Ruth, she was very conscious of herself, and she kneeled down very respectfully, that you couldn't see the form of her body bending down. She didn't bend down like everyone else. She kneeled down. And Boaz noticed that. He said, listen, this is a lady which she obviously is careful for respect of herself. She values who she is. And this is, a value. And when he saw something special in her, that's when it made him go over to her, because she stood out from everyone else. And really, this is the message, this is the lesson here. It's because she stood out that Boaz took her, and he was interested in her, and from that was born the grandfather of Yishai and David HaMelech. And that's how she came to glory, just from that. Otherwise, she would have been like everyone else. Boaz would have not ignored that, and who knows what would have happened. So you see over here the importance that everyone needs to know their own value of who they are. We are special. We're a child from Hashem. We're part of the chosen nation, and we have to walk around very dignified. Dignified in the way we dress, dignified in the way we behave, in the way we speak, in the conduct, how we behave. We're set an example as Jewish people. People will point to us and they say, this is a Jew. And Ruth, when she was Giorat, she realized, I can't just bend down. I'm a lady. I have to act respectfully. And she realized that. And that's where it came from, of the person valuing himself. Now, with that, I want to move on a little bit just to talk about Chag HaShavuot with the few minutes we have left. I'm just trying to think which order to go through. Okay. The Shla Kadosh, Bezrat Hashem, Tuesday night is going to be Chag HaShavuot, and for another it's also going to be Wednesday night. So we've got next week, Wednesday and Thursday, Tuesday night and Wednesday night, Chag HaShavuot. Chag HaShavuot, it says in the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah, it says, Be'arba yamim, arba zmanim, 4 times during the year, ha'olam nidon. Let me just get this for you. Hakol nidonin, b'Rosh Hashanah. Be'arba parakim, 4 periods of time, ha'olam nidon, the world is judged. Be'pesach al התבואה, בעצרת על פירות האילן, בחג נדונים על המים, ואדם נידון בראש השנה. Okay? So now maybe you thought that the person is only judged on Rosh Hashanah, Judgment Day. In fact, the world is judged 4 times during the year. Once on Rosh Hashanah, man is judged. On Sukkot, the water is judged. On Shavuot is the ilan, perot ilan, the fruits of the tree, and Pesach is the tvuah. And in fact, then in Shavuot we call Korban HaOmer. Why am I telling you this? Okay. So the Shla Kadosh, if you realize, last week was a double parasha. Nachon Behar and Bechukotai. At the end of Bechukotai, what did we read? All the klalot of the Torah is split up into 2 parshiot. Which parshiot? One is Kitavo, and the other one is Bechukotai. One comes before Rosh Hashanah, and one comes before Shavuot. Why? So we say in the Gemara, Tichle Shana v'kilelotea, v'techel Shana v'birkotea. What does that mean? We want to end off the curses of the old previous year and start the new year with bracha. Right? We say in the Rosh Hashanah, Achot Ketana. Achot Ketana techel Shana v'birkotea. The end of the year of Klalot should stop. That's why we read the Klalot before Rosh Hashanah. So the question is, why then read also the Klalot before Pesach and before Sukkot? If you're saying that the 4 times of periods of judgment of Rosh Hashanah. So there's something special. This is the Shla Kadosh says this. There's something special about Rosh Hashanah and something special about Shavuot. So Rosh Hashanah is obviously to understand. Rosh Hashanah, each person is judged on his year. Is he going to be, a happy year, a prosperous year? Is he going to be successful this year? Is he going to have a healthy year? Everything in the world of Gashmiut is all dependent on Rosh Hashanah. Wherever a person is judged from. So of course you want to have a good year. So we end off the Klalot before we start the new year. We want to end off. But what's it going to do with Shavuot? Shavuot is perot ha'ilan, the fruits of the tree. What's the fruits of the tree? So the Shla Kodesh teaches us like this. There's a pasuk which says, Adam ki Adam etz hasadeh. A man is resembled to the tree of the field. Ki Adam etz hasadeh. And a tree, like a man, is rooted in the ground and he grows. He can grow in different directions. Right? He absorbs, the tree absorbs water and brings out fruit. Adam, he absorbs water and mayim. Mayim is Torah, and mayim is Torah. A man absorbs the Torah and he produces fruits, is ma'asim. So the Shla Kadosh says on Shavuot, when we judged for Perot HaIlan, we also judged for Ruchaniut, which means our level of spiritual level, which we're going to gain during the year. Right? A person, wants to devote his life to grow in Torah. It's important for him, and he makes a shiur for him, and he wants to go every time, every Tuesday night. I want to be in a shiur, or I've got a shiur on Monday night. I want to go a shiur on Shabbat. I want to maybe study Chumash. Everyone's got a dream of how much he wants to learn for the year, but how much will he be able to be fulfilled in that year? Think about it. How much did you grow in Torah from this year to last year, or from the year before? Everything is judged on Chag Shavuot. This is the Chag Matan Torah. What does it mean, Chag Matan Torah? It's not just, remember, so 2,000 years ago, this is the day Hashem gave the Torah. It's not just what it means. It doesn't mean that. We're not just like a remembrance day. We don't light a candle in remembering of when Hashem gave the Torah. Hashem gives the Torah every year, again, on Chag Shavuot. Everyone is there to accept that. According to each person, how much are we there? How much do we want to have the Torah? How much do we accept? And we're willing to give up and sacrifice for the Torah. That is according to how much we're getting. And when we're standing on Chag Shavuot, we need to remember on this day. It's a very holy day. It's a very special day. We have a special tikkun. The Ari HaKadosh, he made a special tikkun on Leil Shavuot. We stay up. Every person, cares about his neshama, should make every effort to try and spend the night of Shavuot in the Bet Knesset and to read the tikkun. Okay, there's some places where they give shiurim on Chag Shavuot, but it's very important to do the tikkun. If someone can do the tikkun, he should try and do it. That is the whole spiritual level for the next year. That's changing your whole neshama. How much is that important corresponding to Rosh Hashanah? Rosh Hashanah is the world of Gashmiut, which is also very important. But you're here for your neshama. So that is all the importance of the Chag Shavuot. It's the level of the Torah. I want to end off with another note. The pasuk says לכתך אחריי במדבר בארץ לא זרוע. Here we make another connection between במדבר and חג השבועות. So, here's the connection. The שלושה רגלים, Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, is corresponding to the three fathers, or forefathers, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. So the Midrash says, Avraham is Keneged Pesach. What does Avraham got to do with Pesach? Because Avraham, it says in Lushi Ugot, and it was the time of Pesach when he did Brit Milah and the three angels came to visit him. That was the time of Pesach. Avraham is Keneged Pesach. Shavuot is Keneged Yitzchak. And the Midrash says why? Because on Shavuot was Matan Torah. When the Torah was given on Shavuot on Har Sinai, it was given with the blowing of the shofar. And the shofar was from the ayah of Yitzchak Avinu. That's what the Midrash says. And Sukkot is Keneged Yaakov because Yaakov built Sukkot. So now I want to focus on Chag HaShavuot. It's Keneged Shofar because Yitzchak, he was the ayah of Yitzchak was the shofar. And shofar was blown on the Torah. So what's I got to do with Shavuot? So I want to make a big connection and I want to connect it to Bamidbar. The pasuk said, "Zacharti lach chesed ne'oraich." I'll remember the kindness of your youth. That's what the pasuk means. And the pasuk says also in Shir Hashirim. Let me just find it, please. Haviyani el bet hayayin. One second. Okay, no, I can't find it. The Navi says, "V'lechtech achrei b'midbar be'eretz lo zurach." Lechtech achrei b'midbar be'eretz lo zurach. Yeah, I just found it now. Mizot ola min hamidbar ketimot Hashem. The book says in Yirmiyahu, "Haloch v'karatem v'oznei Yerushalayim." Go back to Yerushalayim. Ko amar Hashem. So says Hashem. Zacharti lach, I will remember for you. The kindness of your youth, ahavat kiblotayich, the love of when you came after me in the midbar be'eretz lo zarua. Now what happened over here? What's the kindness that Am Yisrael is going after HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the desert? Okay, if Hashem comes to you and he says to you, okay, Joe and Gilad, come with me, we're going to go into the desert. Okay, you say, I'm coming, whatever you want, I'm with you. Well, what's the kindness involved over here? Be'eretz lo zarua. If Hashem says he's taking care of and he's going to take good care of you, okay, I'm with you, Air Force One, let's go. Where's the kindness? Where's the chesed in going after Hashem in the midbar?
Trust.
Oh, so what do you mean trust? That you trust Hashem will provide for you in the midbar. That's what you mean, Joe?
Yeah, I guess. His kindness of
definitely
kindness of
so
non-hesitant.
you trust in Hashem that where he's going to take you, and he's going to provide for you there.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So excellent. So that is definitely a simple explanation to it. I want to just give another aspect. Excuse me. Okay. So definitely, Joe, 100%. That's definitely the explanation. That we trust in Hashem. We don't know where we're going in.
Anything I can think of.
We don't know who's going to. No, you're absolutely right. We don't know where we're going in the desert. We don't know who's going to provide for us, and we have trust in Hashem. That's definitely what we should remember daily. One of the things we have to remember is Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim, and He took us into the desert, and He provided us for us. But I saw another aspect, and really, this is a really beautiful idea. He said that in the desert, they were there for 40 years, okay, and they had many stops. And how did they go? They followed the pillar of cloud, Amud Anan and Amud Esh. And they would travel for a few days, and when they traveled, they didn't know how long they're traveling for. And suddenly the Amud Anan would stop, and that's when they would pitch camp. Okay, so now everyone starts unloading the donkeys and unloading the tents, and they start setting up. Now they don't know how long they're staying for. They don't know if they're going to stay for 1 day or going to stay for 1 year. You know, they don't stay for 2 years. You know, when you go away, you take your suitcase, okay? Now, let's say you're traveling far. You're traveling to America or Australia. So you make a stop in a different country. So you know you're there for 6 hours or you're there for 12 hours. You know if you just got time for a coffee or you got time to go out and see the city or you got time to unpack. Because you know how long you're going to be there for a couple of hours or for a couple of days. But here the Bnei Yisrael, they had no idea. If there's, you know, sometimes they will travel through the whole night. You travel through the whole night and only in the morning get to where they're supposed to be. And now you discuss the camp. And they start unloading and they start, we're here, you know, we're probably going to be here. So how long can you live out your suitcase for? So you start setting up, you getting, you put your kids in, you get them set up the beds and set up, they're ready for rest, and your chickens and your sheep, and you've got everyone start building your place. And after a couple of hours, you know, after half a day, that's it, you start moving, pack up everything, and then start going. And Am Yisrael, they did that happily. They did it b'simcha, and they realized that that was their purpose. If we're here, and we're supposed to be here for half a day, so there's purpose and reason for us to be here for half a day. And there's a tremendous lesson from this, that, you know, a person in life, sometimes life changes. You know, we get comfortable in the way our life runs. And David HaMelech said, "Lo tiveni leregel ga'ava." Regel is hergel. Hergel, how do I spell hergel in English? Hergel is when you get used to something. Thank you. Habit, hergel. Hergel. You get used to something and you get very comfortable with what you're used to. And there comes the gava. What's gava? Gava is you deserve something. You get used to something, you feel like you deserve it, and then when you lose it, you get all annoyed and frustrated. Okay, just give you a simple example. Person will get used to traveling in his car or traveling by train. You get used to it. One time the train doesn't work or your car doesn't work, a person gets all annoyed. Why are you frustrated for? Why? Because he got used to it. And there's sometimes changes in a person's life and he doesn't know how to take it. But if you realize that, you know, Am Yisrael were there and Bamidbar, and this was the greatest love that we showed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we trusted Him completely. And there's some things which are not in our hands and they change, and we have to realize it's Hashem is changing them. And when we're here just for a short period of time, and we thought maybe we would be here for longer, but that was Hashem. Hashem is running it, and we have to trust that there's the reason and purpose for everything, and that's why we're here for this period of time. And we have a mission to accomplish, because we are that letter, we are that mission. We have to remember that flag that we're here for a reason, even for a few hours. We have to do our best to fulfill our purpose in that. And it was tremendous Mesirut Nefesh from Israel. Mesirut Nefesh, how translate Nefesh? Mesirut Nefesh of giving up from oneself and
selflessness.
Selflessness. Yeah, but
it's devotion. It's like an absolute devotion.
Yeah, it's acting. Yeah, thank you. It's acting in selflessness and acting in devotion towards Hashem. When you give up yourself, Mesirut Nefesh for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Nefesh is your own comfortable life, and you're giving out for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You're giving up for the mitzvot, okay? And everyone tonight here is here with Mesirut Nefesh, okay? So I'm here Mesirut Nefesh, and everyone's here could be doing different things tonight. Everyone has their own family to go to, and everyone's got their own business to run, and everyone's got their own jobs. But it's Mesirut Nefesh for the Torah, which everyone has that tonight. And that is the key to accepting the Torah. Because before you can come to Har Sinai, Am Yisrael had to go through that desert, and they had to show that the devotion and trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu before they received the Torah. And that you see is also you see from Yitzchak Avinu. What's Yitzchak got to do with Shavuot? Yitzchak is the whole Chag of Shavuot. So I would have thought Yaakov, he's the one who learns Torah all day. He should be the Chag of Shavuot, Yaakov. And then Midrash says no, Yitzchak is Chag of Shavuot. Why is that? And it's because it's got to do with Akedat Yitzchak. Yitzchak Avinu, whatever his father told him to do, he did it. And he was willing to sacrifice himself for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He's willing to give up everything. He doesn't just give up an hour of his time. He doesn't give up, 100 pounds from his pocket. He's willing to give up his whole life in sacrifice for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's Akedat Yitzchak. And with that Akedah, with the horn of the ram, which was in place of Yitzchak Avinu, that is the horn that we blow shofar. Hashem blew the shofar in Chag HaShavuot. When he gave the Torah, he blew the shofar of the horn of Yitzchak Avinu. To remember the Akedah that was the Mesirut Nefesh of Yitzchak to give up from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That was the Mesirut Nefesh of Am Yisrael to get to the stage of Har Sinai when they went through the desert. And that's what each Jew has to remember when he's coming to accept the Torah. That, this year I'm gonna go and I want to improve myself in my learning in Torah, and I've got my own, my own goals and aims and things that I want to achieve and things that, books I want to study and shiurim I want to go to. And a person is granted that according to his Mesirut Nefesh, open your mouth and I will fill it. Hashem wants to give us the Torah, but we have to be there ready to accept it. And this is, I think, the message, that we can take ourselves in preparation for Chag Matan Torah. Also myself, I've got my personal sheifot, my personal goals and aims which I want to achieve in the Torah. There's so much Torah that I still want to learn and I still want to study it. And it's all according to how much a person is willing to give up for himself for that. So maybe I'll summarize tonight. Maybe we'll end up with one last idea. Yeah, I've got another 2 minutes.
Sorry?
I'm saying, have you got a few minutes just for another small idea?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
So I want to share with you a beautiful midrash. Beautiful midrash. Midrash says as following: Amar Yitzchak. בא כתוב לומר, כשאדם עושה מצווה יעשה בלב שלם. When a person is coming to do a mitzvah, you decided whatever mitzvah you want to do, you want to help somebody, whatever mitzvah you want to do, you have to start taking it upon yourself and do it בלב שלם. You do this mitzvah בלב שלם. Why? And this is the midrash. אילו היה יודע ראובן. ראובן שהכתוב מכתיב עליו וישמע ראובן ויצאו מידם. What was the story of Reuven? Reuven, he sees the brothers, they want to kill Yosef, and he says, no, listen, let's not kill him. Maybe we'll throw him into the pit. Why kill him? Don't kill our own brother. Have a little bit of mercy on him. Reuven had this mercy on his brother Yosef. And the Torah writes about Reuven, he saved the life of Yosef, otherwise they would have killed him. That's what the Torah says about him. So the Midrash says, if Reuven would have known, that the Torah would write about him, Vayishma Reuven, and Reuven heard their brothers and Vayitzilah, and he saved them, what would he have done? He would have lifted up Yosef on his shoulders and carried him to his father. That's what he would have done, but he didn't know. Now go, Midrash continues. Ilo haya yodea Aaron. What happened when Aaron? Aaron, he was the leader of the generation, right? He was, before Moshe Rabbeinu came along, he was number one, right? He was the leader of Am Yisrael. Aaron, he was the son of Amram was a great sage, and Aaron was there, the leader, number one, the older brother. Now when Moshe Rabbeinu, he was the little brother, comes along the younger brother, and he just now takes the show. He steals the show. He comes and gone. He's got his all his nisim, the miracles with his staff and the stick and the blood. And it says that Aaron v'samach belibo. When he heard that Moshe Rabbeinu was coming, he was happy in his heart. There was no jealousy. There was purity of heart of Aaron HaKohen. And the Torah says, Ilu haya yodea Aaron, that the Torah would write about him, that he saw Moshe v'samach belibo. You know what he would have done? He wouldn't have just been samach belibo. he would have come out בתופים ובמחולות הוא היה יוצא. He would have come out with a band, with a welcoming ceremony and trumpets and make a whole big thing out of it. And welcome Moshe Rabbeinu, not just happy in his heart. He would have done the mitzvah to the fullest. And the third example is Boaz. What did Boaz do when he saw Ruth? When he saw Ruth, she needed food and food. So the Torah, Megillah, writes about Boaz that he came and he brought her he gave us kernels of wheat, and he gave to Ruth. And the Midrash tells us that if Boaz would have known that the Megillah, the Navi, would write about him that he gave to Ruth some kernels of wheat, he would have given her agalim mefutamot. That means, fat, stuffed calves, meat. He would have given her he would have fed her, the greatest delicacy, and he would have taken out for dinner. He would have given her a massive big deal out of it. That's what the Midrash says. Reuven, Aaron, and Boaz. If they would have known what the Torah would have written about them, the small act that they did, they would have made it so much bigger. They would have made it so much. So the Midrash asks Rabbi Kohen, Rabbi Yeshua. So what's the point of telling us this? What's the point? Had they would they known, they would have done things differently. Had they known, okay, they didn't know, they didn't do differently, and the Torah didn't write anything about them. What's the point of us? Why do we need to know this? Why does the Midrash tell us this? Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. שאדם לשעבר, אדם עושה מצווה נביא כותבה. That means in the past, when someone used to do an action, Hashem used to write down his action in the Torah. This is what Reuven did, this is Aaron did. The Navi used to write down what Boaz did. ועכשיו, now, אדם עושה מצווה מכותבה, someone sitting in London, okay? Or sitting in Givat Zev, and he does a mitzvah. He links up to a shiur Torah on his phone or his laptop, he listens to a shiur, or he helps a friend. He does a mitzvah, who writes it down? Who writes down the mitzvah? עכשיו אדם עושה מצווה מכותבה, אליהו ומלך המשיח והקדוש ברוך הוא חותם על ידיהם. It means in Shavuot somewhere, there's Eliyahu Navi and Melech HaMashiach, and they've got their camera, and they're looking at everyone's house, and they see everyone thinks about what he's doing. And they're writing down. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes and he signs it. שנאמר, אז נדברו יראי השם, איש אל רעהו, ויקשר השם וישמע ויכתב. לעתיד לבוא, in terms of Mashiach comes, it's going to be another book of the Torah, the book of Mashiach. And in the book of Mashiach, it's going to be all the mitzvot and acts of chesed that simple people did of Am Yisrael, and each one did the extra act of kindness that brings the Mashiach closer. Ba'olam chesed yibaneh. And everyone has the opportunity to be written down in that sefer, like Aaron and like Boaz and like Reuven, and probably maybe we've already been written there a few times. We're all good Jews, we all do good things, we try our best. But everyone has to think about what do you want them to write about me? What do I want them to write? I want them to write the best things about me. So think about it, Aaron and Boaz and Reuven. They would have done the mitzvah b'shlemut, b'lev shalem, so much more with happiness and completeness and fulfillment. So that's really the message to think about and to learn. The message from Boaz. So maybe let's just summarize. We've spoken a lot about today. We've learned a few ideas. Then maybe we'll just do a quick summary. Is there any questions before I end off?
No, I'm not on this side.
No? May or Gilad, you still here?
No, just the last point, if you keep my apologies, the last sentence of why would they do so much more if they knew? So the last part.
Because you realize that Aaron, in the Sefer Torah, was written about him for the rest of eternity. Aaron samach belibo. So think about it, he could have had so much more. It could have been written something much more praiseworthy than that. He could have done it, and he wanted to do it, right? Think about it, Gilad. You've got an idea of what you want to do, something good, and you do it. And they write about it that you did something good. But you think, I could have got so much more. Well, it's such a wasted opportunity. I could have done so much more, and I wanted to do more. So a person should do more. If that's what you want to do, and you can do it, then go do it. And it'll be written down, and it'll be written about you. Think about it, for the rest of eternity. What's going to be more valuable than doing that to the fullness, fulfill it? And that's really what we have to remember behind when we're doing it. It's added motivation for doing mitzvot. Mayor, any questions, Mayor? No? So, okay, let's just do a quick summary about what we learned tonight. So we learned about the importance of the numbers, the book of Numbers, Sefer Pekudim, that Moshe Rabbeinu counted Am Yisrael. And we mentioned that Hashem, he counted Am Yisrael because of the love for them. And he didn't need just to know the numbers, how many people, and there's 1 billion people in China. It's just a number. You're not just a number. You're a letter. Ish al globe otot. You're a letter and a flag. You have a purpose and a meaning, and as an individual, you have value. And your value and purpose in life. You have a position in Am Yisrael like you have a position in a letter in Sefer Torah. And that's what we said why Moshe Rabbeinu had to come. And he had to see each person and see their mission and their tafkid and give them a bracha that they should be able to fulfill their mission and to fulfill their letter. And we said some people, they are full letters, some people are part of a letter, some people are only the crown of the letter. But each one has value in the Sefer Torah, and each one has value in Am Yisrael. We need to not only value each other, but also to value ourselves. We see that each one has a certain position. Like Shalomit B'Divri, you can't just set up your tent whatever you want. It's a position which got a much greater meaning, but a person has the value, and you have to appreciate your own intrinsic value. And we said Ruth, when she saw the value of herself, and she appreciated that she's dignified and she has to act respectfully, even when she bends down. And that's how she rose to the glory of marrying Boaz, and she saw the King David and all the king dynasty ahead of her. She sat down on the throne just because she realized and valued who she was. And we need to value who we are as Jews and who we are. And when we are alive as today, that means Hashem is trying to keep us alive because we're here and we value our importance as being part of Am Yisrael and being part of the Torah of Am Yisrael. We explained Chag Shavuot is really the Chag of Perot HaIlan, the fruits of the tree. And we are the tree, and the fruits are the fruits of our actions and the Torah which we absorb, and how much we're gonna grow from the Torah and blossom this year. And we have to make that achievement to try and achieve and to grow. And this is a special time in Chag HaShavuot to utilize. Many people have the custom to read Sefer Tehillim, the whole Sefer Tehillim on Chag HaShavuot, because this is the day of David HaMelech. I remember what we said about the Navi said, Lech tech achar b'midbar, that they went after Hashem in the Midbar, and even though they had to travel and camp for 1 day or for 2 years, they didn't know, but they did it with love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Hashem remembers that love that we did for Hashem, b'misirut nefesh, with devotion, with selflessness, with act that we went just with our love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's how Yitzchak Avinu with the Akedah, that he went also with selfless devotion for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that is the prerequisite that we have to have before we receive the Torah. We have to be willing to give up from ourselves to receive the Torah. We have to give up. Sometimes we give up from our time, from our business time, sometimes from our leisure time, sometimes the sleep time. We're tired. And after a long day, to accomplish it's a challenge. But Hashem acknowledges that challenge and appreciates that. And Hashem will give us. And that's what we say, Ftach picha ve'amaleo. Open your mouth and I will fill it up. And we said that's the 4 times of the year we're judged, and we're judged for the Torah. And it's according to the Miswat Nefesh that we have. And remember that each one of our actions is valued and is written down in the future book of the Mashiach. The actions that we have, we should try and do belev shalem, like Aaron Kohen and Reuven and Boaz, that they wanted to do. That's what we should also want to do. So thank you everyone for joining me. I wish you a
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed the show, and I look forward to having you back in 2 weeks' time. B'ezrat Hashem.
Thanks, Rabbi.
Chag Sameach to everyone.
Chag Sameach.
Thank you. Good night. Good night, Gilad Joe. Good night.
See you. Good night.